Hello, welcome back to my vlog. So, today I'm excited because I'm gonna take myself out on a little date, a solo date. I'm going to get ramen, I'm going to Barnes & Noble, probably gonna bring my ThinkPad and performatively code in public, you know, the usual. But, before that, I ordered GoPuff the other day, and for some reason, they included this for free. It's the Pepsi challenge. I don't know if you remember that. I'm guessing you guys aren't old like me, but the Pepsi challenge was a thing where they would make people taste like Pepsi and Coke, and they wouldn't tell them which one it is, and they would have to decide which is better. So I'm gonna do that. Just because I have a YouTube channel. Okay, so let's do it. I'm gonna throw this on my hoodie. Hopefully the audio is okay. Don't get too much slurping. Oh yeah, also, the reason I feel the need to do this is because I'm a Midwest princess, and if you know anything about me, I love a cold pop. I love a cold pop. I had to give up pop because I would drink it too much, and it was just too much sugar. It would give me a headache. So it's okay. So there's like the two cans are hidden, so you just gotta open them up and slurp. So I'm gonna open both, and then I'm gonna taste both, and I'm gonna let you know which is better. And I'm gonna be honest. If oh god, the second one is kind of twisted. Oh no, I almost revealed that. Okay, got it open. Woo, that was close. Okay, so I'm gonna be very honest about which one I like more. Pepsi sent this to me for free, but they are not seeing this video before. I'm just kidding. Pepsi didn't see this. Pepsi didn't send this to me. GoPuff did. And it's not because I'm a YouTuber. It's because I spend too much money on GoPuff. But maybe one day I'll get stuff sent for review for free. Okay, let's stop yapping and let's get to tasting. Okay, this is pop number 1. That one is not good. I'll be honest, no. Pop number 1 is not good. I didn't like it. Let's try pop number 2. Pop number 2 is I mean B. Can A is worse. Right. Can A kind of tastes like aspartame. Oh, it's Pepsi Zero Sugar. I was like, I don't like diet pop. So that's why I didn't like it. The first one tastes like aspartame. Yeah, I think the first one is Diet Coke. Or actually, no, it's you know what? It's probably they're both Pepsi. Now that I realize that I don't think they would just send me a Coke. All right, let's reveal it. I liked Can B more, so let's see which one it is. Ugh. Can B is oh god. Okay, how do I get this out without spilling it? Can B. Oh, actually, no. It is a Coke in here. Okay, so Can A was Pepsi Zero Sugar. Can B was Coke Zero. Sorry, sorry, Pepsi. You just lost the Pepsi challenge. I'm being honest. I didn't cheat. I swear to God, I did like the Coke Zero more. Um, damn, damn, Pepsi, you fucked up. You shouldn't have sent me your damn challenge. And now look at you, look like a damn fool. All right, well, let's um what's the dude? Uh, Yodi, come in. No, Folker, come in. Yeah, Yodi gang, you feel me? I am about to attempt a double blinker. If you drink both at the same time, if you hit a double blinker, it's not quite as bad. I mean, because it masks the the Pepsi Zero Sugar. Actually, let's try them one more time to be sure. Yeah, Coke Zero's better. Sorry. Sorry, Pepsi, you lost your damn challenge. Okay, I'm gonna go get ramen in a couple hours. Yeah, in an hour. Okay, bye. So originally, I was gonna take public transit to make it a whole day of it, but I just took a Lyft because I'm lazy. And here's me at the new-ish Barnes & Noble in Chicago. It used to be a Walgreens, and before that it was a bank. They have a little vault in the bottom. And here's the space books. The reason I came there, as you can see that purple book on the side, I actually have that one already. Here's the ramen place. I had to get a cold pop after that failure of a Pepsi challenge. And then some delicious ramen. Okay, so it's the next day after my solo date. And honestly, it went so well. I might have a second one. Okay, in all seriousness, though, it was a fun day. I ended up going to Barnes & Noble, and then I got ramen at a ramen restaurant in my neighborhood. Can't complain, perfect day, honestly. I was really excited to go to Barnes & Noble because they opened up this new Barnes & Noble, and I went there a few weeks ago with a friend, and they had 2 Smithsonian books on space. But I was like, I want both, but I have to only choose one. But I regretted my decision, so I went back, and I got a second book on space and a third book on space. The other book is on my bookshelf, so I'm not gonna grab it, but it's called Cosmos. Also, I bought a book for my friend who's really into cats. It's a cat encyclopedia. Yeah, it was honestly a great day. Um, I'm thinking I have this thing where I can just like stay in the house and do my hobbies for days on end and not really care. So I'm trying to get out of the house more, even if it means just for like an hour or two, go for a walk. On my older videos, I used to go for walks every day. I'm sure if you watch them, you notice that I was always talking about my hot girl walk. But it's the winter right now, and I haven't been doing that. So I need to find other ways to get outside. If I don't go outside, it's fun for a little while, but then I get all depressed and have cabin fever. So working on that. Besides that, I want to make more progress on my game. I've made 0 progress because I've been playing games too much, but it's okay. It's research. And also I want to work on my apps. I have not been doing that. So that's where the goals are. And obviously, as usual, main goal is to get more jacked, stay jacked, find a muscle mommy. Nothing's changed. So I'm gonna go to the gym today. This gym day was mostly a leg day, but I threw in some pull-ups to warm up. And then all I really did was Romanian deadlifts here and not pictured. I did some goblet squats, and they hurt. My legs were giraffing after. And here I'm just working on a raglan crochet t-shirt. This has been a long project, I'm not gonna lie, but it's been fun. My goal lately has been to actually finish things. So I'm not letting myself quit on this because I've done many raglans and only finished like 1 or 2. I'm almost done. And then last thing I did this day was to make some bread. I'm using a protein bread recipe I got from the YouTube channel Exercise for Cheat Meals. I actually modified it a little bit, and also I didn't follow his steps. I just dumped everything into the stand mixer. He does it all by hand, and I'm too lazy for that. Not too lazy to do some stretch and folds. I did do that. I gotta say, that's a pretty cute looking dough. So one more stretch and fold. I believe I did 2 total. I didn't film everyone, 2 or 3. After a stand mixer, you don't really need a ton of stretch and folds. After that, I just shaped it up. I love, I don't know how to say this in not a weird way. I love manipulating dough. They call me dough boy. It's very satisfying. Shaped into a log. Threw it in the bread pan to proof. And then we add some cuts to allow it to expand in the oven. And boom. We got us some bread. Gorgeous. Yummy. I'm really bad at filming myself cooking. To finish this video, I wanted to do something that I always do on my channel. Throw in a little coding. And it's not because I didn't put C++ in the title of my last video and it got buried by the algorithm. I'm doing it because I want to. I mean, we got multiple reasons why we do things. But yeah, I started the game over again. What can I say? I'm always doing that. This time, I decided to give raylib a try, which was actually the first ever gaming library or engine or whatever that I've ever used. So I have a little bit of experience with it, not a ton. But now that I actually understand how like graphics libraries work under the hood, I feel like I'm more able to utilize it, and it's much quicker to get stuff done. I feel like doing everything from scratch is not the best way to actually get a game done. So I'll show you guys what I have. I'll just run it so you can take a look. Well, actually, I want to change something real quick. What did I want to change though? The size of the window. It's really small on the screen, so I'm going to raise. Why is it so small though? I guess because this is a high DPI screen or whatever. Yeah, so it's super small. But I have a little car and it's on a grid and you can drive it around. What I'm working on right now is making the camera follow it. So right now the camera's directly behind it, and I would like for it to, you know, actually follow it behind, stay behind the car, point in the same direction as the car. I haven't quite figured that out just yet. this code is actually, if you watched, I believe 2 or 3 videos ago, I showed a driving game. It's actually using the exact same physics from that game. It's prototype. From that prototype. It's from this book I was reading about game physics. So we look at the game object. I'll show the header file. So we have a position, scale, then we have velocity, acceleration, and then the accumulated force on the object. And then we have a rotation angle, which is where it's pointing. Damping, which is how it slows down when you stop applying force. And then we have the mass, which is stored as inverse mass. I forgot why. Sorry, my alarm is going off. And then we just have some methods to set the mass, add a force, update it, draw it, clear it, clean up, init, that stuff. And yeah, all set mass does is set the inverse mass. Add force adds force to the accumulated forces, and clear accumulated forces just sets the force accumulated to 0. And then I don't know why this line is highlighted. I think it's because I had a breakpoint there at one point. So what we have here is we check if the inverse mass is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, if it's not greater than 0, we just return, because we don't want to move something with 0 mass. Then, or the inverse mass is 0. So if the inverse mass is 0, then that would be 1 over 0, which is not a number. Then we set the rotation equal to 0. Up here I have just some constants. Some constants. We have our angle. We have the minimum speed to turn, the magnitude of the acceleration, and this is just to adjust the angle by 90 degrees because it is rotated 90 degrees when it starts. The init, we just set all the initialized values, set the mass, all the velocity to 0, set the position, blah blah blah. And then so the actual interesting stuff, I have when you press the space button, the space bar, that means go forward, and that will create a force that accelerates on the X and Z axis, and then we add the force. If you press shift, we go backwards, and it's the same thing except negative, and we multiply it by a factor of 1/2, basically, so it goes in reverse slower than it goes forward. Here, if you press left or right, it'll just add or subtract from the rotation angle, and then we take the forces, all the accumulated forces, we multiply it by the inverse mass. That's why we hold the inverse mass, is because we want to basically divide the force by the mass. So if it's heavier, it'll move slower. And then the resulting acceleration will be our acceleration times this accumulated forces. Then we just add the acceleration to the velocity. We add the rotation times delta time to the rotation angle. I think up here I could have multiplied velocity by delta time so I don't have to do it twice. It's funny how in these when I'm filming myself, I notice little things. It really, obviously this doesn't matter, but why do it twice when you could do it once? Okay, so, and then we just multiply the velocity by the cosine of the angle that is turned, and then for the x-axis, for the z-axis, we multiply by the sine of that angle, and then we clear the forces. And all we do here is draw it, and we rotate the model that we have drawn. We load the model up here, as you can see here. Just a model I downloaded off of Sketchfab. Obviously, I want to create my own at some point. This is just the rotation. So we only want to rotate on the y-axis. Multiply it by that rotation, multiply it, convert it to radians, or convert it to degrees from radians. The scale, the color, boom, that's it. And we just call that, we create a game object called player, and then we create a camera. We initialize the player, initialize the camera, disable the cursor, set the screen, set the FPS, I mean, and then we set the screen width and height up here too. On update, we check if the player has tapped any buttons. That's where I was saying these buttons do that. So space goes forward, shift goes backwards. Left is the A key or the left arrow key. Right is the D key or the right arrow key. I want to add gamepad support next, after I figure out the camera. And then we update the player by passing in the frame time. We update the camera. Oh, I just realized why my camera rotations were not working. It's because I wasn't passing in delta time. Okay, that makes sense. So I will fix that before the next video, probably. See, this is why I'm glad I make these videos, because if I was just doing this on my own and not talking to myself, I would never figure this stuff out. All right. And all we do is start 3D mode with the camera. Oh yeah, and then we clear the background, just white, right after we begin drawing. We draw the player, we draw a grid. I actually think probably I should draw the player after the grid, but whatever, it's fine. And then we end the 3D mode. Or maybe raylib takes care of this, because I notice you're not seeing the grid over the player. I think raylib handles that for us. And then we end drawing. And that is just the draw and the update methods get called in the game loop, and then afterwards we clean up. And the only thing I didn't show is the camera, I believe. So the camera, all it is creating a camera based on the raylib camera class. We created that in the game file. We do const for the up, and then the offset from, which is how far the camera is from the player. We set all this stuff. We make it perspective. If I wanted to, can easily change this to an orthographic camera, which is another nice thing. It just makes things easier to use raylib, which I enjoy. So as you can see, now we got an orthographic camera, which is you're not really able to. Okay, I think what I changed didn't work. Let's see. Let's actually change this back. Yeah, it's not turning anymore. What the F did I change? All I did was move the delta time up here to, you know what? Oh, I think I know why I can't do that. Okay, whatever. What? We're just gonna leave that there. All right, now it works again. But as what I was trying to demonstrate is, if we change it to orthographic, it will make it so everything is the same size no matter how far it is away. So if you wanted to do like an isometric game, that's how you would do that. And this kind of stuff would take me a lot longer to do if I was doing this in just like straight OpenGL. In Vulkan, pretty much would take infinity. Not gonna lie, it took me a long time. So I'm kind of glad I like left my ego at the door, as if you are a wrestling fan, the wrestler Sheamus has a workout channel, and he always says when he can't do a set, when you enter the gym, you leave your ego at the door. So I do that in the gym, but not when it comes to game dev. So I'm leaving my ego at the door, taking a little shortcut so I can actually get things done. That is the goal. But that being said, thank you so much for watching my vlog. I will be back soon. Please like and subscribe, and go take yourself out on a solo date. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. I think you will too. Enjoy your own company. That's what this channel is about. It's about enjoying your own company, having fun hobbies. Heck, make a YouTube channel and talk to yourself in your apartment by yourself. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye.